What is going on, community fans? Welcome back to Screen Sanctum. I'm Steve. We have more behind-the-scene content reactions today, Season 4, and this is the Inspector Spacetime Inspecticon behind the scenes from the Blu-ray DVD. And of course, this is from the Inspector Spacetime episode, which was a really cool episode and a crazy one when Abed met his online friend, or so he thought. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. But it's cool that they have a little behind the scenes, I guess, in the making of it. It's about 9 minutes, so we can get into it right now. The Inspecticon is in 3, 2, 1, go.
Inspector Spacetime has taken on a prominent role in Community.
Hell yeah, it has.
Especially in the 4th season, we actually go to an Inspector Spacetime convention.
Ryan Abed's so happy.
It's the show that Troy and Abed love.
Eradicate. Take that, Morgan! Good show, Inspector.
Like many things in our show, they start very small as little one-offs, and then they grow into something that no one can control anymore. So
Yeah, pretty much.
that's Inspector Spacetime.
It actually is crazy how much they grew this little show they watched.
Oh, and in that episode is Matt Lucas, who's from Little Britain, who is so funny. It's like the man speaks in punchlines. He's a genius.
All right. Guilty as charged.
Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica is going to be here, which is very exciting. That show's amazing. And
Oh,
it's
that's
just
so
amazing
cool.
to have
I wouldn't
these
have
worlds
picked
collide.
up on that, but
Inspector Spacetime convention. It was so cool because I was like, this stuff is fake. Like, we made up all this world, but it feels real.
Yeah.
Like, halfway through, I was like,
the set
I
they
remember
built
it
was
in this
crazy.
episode. Oh, wait, because the show's not real.
It's crazy that
Hi,
they built
I'm
a
Denise
convention.
Pizzini, and I'm the production designer on Community.
I'm Don Deers, and I'm the set decorator.
And we're going to
I
take
wanna
you
be
on
a
a
set
little tour
decorator.
of the Inspector Spacetime Convention.
Right now, they're actually building another set. I think you can hear it. Can you guys hear it?
These are the different inspectors.
Through the ages, so that we had to create a backstory for the show. So we
They
did a
could have
photo
actually
shoot with some
made a
actors,
show.
because there's supposed to be 50 years of Inspector Spacetime. Episodes, of course, that don't exist.
We created some villains as well.
But then some sort of aliens that, you know, you're never really quite sure where they're from or what they do or what their evilness is. For instance, behind you was something we found at Sony, which is, we call them the meat sacks, which are just these bizarre aliens. We're not quite sure what the narrative is, but it was, you know, we were going for scale.
The people on this crew are amazing because everything was legit. I mean, there was all kinds of knickknacks. There was a real phone booth.
And he locked them
So
in
many
it.
different things that were placed there on the set that I thought were amazing. And excuse me.
Well, they recreated like a Comic-Con-like place.
The 2 or 3 times we've gone to Comic-Con, I have snuck on the floor to see what it's like, and it's mayhem.
It is.
Comic-Con
I've been to
is
one in New York.
Crazy. It is jam-packed.
But the feeling at Comic-Con is always, it's very chaotic and like a little bit terrifying.
A little bit scary.
But then so awesome and gratifying to walk out.
The one that I went to, I got to see the freaking
Thank God.
life-size
because the fans
Hulkbuster.
are the greatest fans in the world, and it was just, you know, we were just terribly fortunate.
We go back every year now. We've been there 3 times, and each time I'm more and more excited by it because it is a place to celebrate fandom, you know, and I think that's really kind of
I wonder
cool
if he
to
still
see
goes.
500,000 people assembled in a giant convention center freaking out.
I think all our extras for the last 4 years have been the type who would go to Comic-Con.
The background actors, they looked for people who had their own costumes, their own cosplay, so everyone kind of got up every morning themselves and dressed themselves.
So
Props
cool.
and costumes did an amazing job with like the
Well,
background.
The background brought their own costumes, a lot of them.
There were demons and aliens and princesses and furry creatures. I don't know, a lot of furries.
Everybody was dressed up as characters, and I was like, I want to know who that is. I want to know that character. And like, oh, they did such a good job.
That's
but
dope
the best part
that
is
they
like,
all
some
had
people
their
did
own.
shitty jobs. Like, sometimes you go to Comic-Con and you'll be like, that's not Wolverine.
Got you a present.
We've created a universe of gadgetry
That's
and
not Wolverine.
the finest degree of nerdyism we could come up with. So we've taken a lot of found objects and just tried to make them into sort of steampunked, spacey things. So we wanted everything to be kind of crafty and homemade and really complement the kind of characters that we see.
hell?
You probably never had one before.
The convention center was probably, it's definitely one of those moments I'll always remember walking into the set for the first time being like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel right now watching this behind the scenes.
These are from several prop houses. This is our own phone booth that we built.
That's so cool.
We have a spaceship that we rented
Oh
from
my God.
Universal. Our pyramid was used in a previous episode, and we just repurposed it for this because we are on a budget, a very limited budget for things like this.
That's the crazy
we couldn't
thing.
do a show like this if we weren't in Los Angeles because there are so many resources available.
We understand that like people take this stuff seriously, and not in a serious way, but like it's fun, and it's not. The reason why it's fun is because it's detailed.
So this is just basically a joke, a riff on Schrodinger's cat, which was a theory that was an argument against Einstein's theory. And I found this taxidermy at the prop house, and so it became, instead of Schrodinger's cat, Schrodinger's badger. And again, just a fictitious episode that hopefully will riff.
Somebody will see it.
Yeah, and get it.
This is our glue-on photo booth, which Troy and Britta stand up here. The direction, what it said in the script is it should be altar-like. So we were like, well, what, what's that? So we decided to do a little cityscape. They're like on top of a city with a skylight.
This is so well done.
Jeff and Britta did it. They merged their faces. And it is scary how similar our noses are and a lot of our features are. They had, of course, had to shrink my head down so it could fit with her very petite, beautiful head, as opposed to my large Frankenstein bolts coming out of my neck head.
If I could be a glue-on with anyone else.
Well, I'd want somebody that normally wouldn't be glued to me, so, right? I mean,
that makes sense.
Allison Bray.
Aww.
I'd like to be a glue-on with Sandra Bullock.
Ooh.
She seems like a really nice lady. She gives good gifts, so we'd be shopping a lot.
I think we'd be good to glue on together because we're about the same size.
Yes,
we're about the same height.
so it's probably gonna be a female.
So I'd go with either Sandra Bullock or Oprah, because I think Oprah believes in luxury, and I feel like we would be sleeping on great sheets and riding in really nice cars.
She was sleeping at someone else's house.
6.5.
We could almost share shoes.
7.
We could share shoes.
I'd probably be a glue-on with one of hers. He lives a really weird life. And I just want to be there for the ride.
Bro, I want to glue on with Oprah. And we look enough alike that we might not even look like a glue on. We might look like a regular person walking through the world with two heads.
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
My wife. Let's say my wife, Bridget.
Oh,
This is
Daniel.
the episode where Jeff finds out he bears an unfortunate resemblance to a Inspector Spacetime bad guy.
Well, so glad to meet you.
We had our graphic designer do a mock-up of Thoraxis, which is kind of this alien praying mantis type person, but you can tell that it looks just like Jeff.
Exactly. Abs and all.
Background and action.
What the hell is going on here? So suddenly our marriage isn't worth repairing?
What?
Wait, Nigel is married? That is so Thoraxis. And your American accent isn't at all convincing.
I always think about how many takes it would take.
Cut. I get mistaken for every Indian character on television.
I get mistaken for every black woman over a size 2.
A lot of like alpacas, llamas, camels, those kind of creatures that spit a lot.
With doing the soup, people are always like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, what do you think my name is? And they're like, Tosh? And I'm like, yes.
Tosh.0.
Will you sign this? And then I'll sign it. Daniel Tosh.
Sherry Shepherd, Octavia Spencer, Oprah, Jill Scott. It's just been an embarrassment of riches. I look like everyone, and everyone looks like me.
Besides them, I get mistaken sometimes for Bronson Pinchot.
What?
Well, Jamie Lee Curtis, of course.
Bronson Pinchot.
Thanks for going on a set tour with us on
I wish it was
Inspecticon
longer.
here at Community.
That set was incredible, and But that's one of the greatest things about this show is that we read something on the page, we read a script saying that we're going to go into an Inspector Spacetime convention,
Yeah.
and then on Monday morning we show up here on stage 32 on Paramount Slot, and we never really know what to expect. Well, you always know it's going to be pretty awesome.
Shoot, man. The crazy thing about this is how you never knew if there was going to be another season because the budgets were so low. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't want to put a lot of money into these episodes. But when you watch some of the special episodes, you see that every penny they spend, you could see it on the screen, right? And we know that they didn't go over because they would have went way over budget. I don't think we would have got 6 seasons. But this episode, you literally felt like watching the episode, you were at a convention. Like they said, oh, maybe there was a convention somewhere and can we borrow that space for a few hours? But no, they built this thing from scratch and it was really, really cool. I mean, it obviously wasn't the size of a Comic-Con, but just by watching this behind the scenes, they built so much. They had to create those signs, like the one of the Jeff/Alien and like the cosplayers. That's another thing that was so dope. And I guess also to save money, I don't know if background extras with no lines actually get paid money. Sure, they get fed and stuff like that. I'm not in the industry. But yeah, if you were going to create and build your own costumes for, I don't even know, over 100 background extras in this, that's a lot of money. So you say, hey, let's just get people who are cosplayers and they could, show off what they've already made. And you save a shit ton of money that way, which is genius because, as I said, every dollar and every penny that went into these episodes were on screen. And not only did they look good, meaning it looked like you were at a convention, it looked good because it was also a very well-produced show, You could sometimes have really good sets and it just doesn't look good, or the production quality, meaning the visuals are good, but you could tell that everything is just like CGI or there's really nothing there and it looks like crap. But this was not that. It blows my mind. And I just realized it's kind of like nostalgia for me, even though I didn't watch this when it first aired. It's just maybe been a year or two since I watched that episode. But seeing how young these actors are, because I've seen them now, and then I think of, again, all of you who are watching this, maybe for the first time on my channel, and you're like, wow, man, they were so young. And then I think about the actors, if they have the Blu-rays or if they ever go back and watch some of the behind the scenes things that they're in, just like, man, I was such a baby here. I think I'm around the same age as everybody in this show for the most part. So this was, I don't know what they were, in their 20s. So I could imagine just watching a home video of me in my 20s, like, who is that guy? Who is that adorable little guy, right? So it's cool. It's nice. I really am glad that you all told me to check out the bonus features on the Blu-rays because I didn't really think there was this much. And even though this was a nice 9-minute behind the scenes for this episode, I kind of wish it was more. But, you get what you get. I think the last behind the scenes piece that I have for season 4 is the episode with the puppets. And again, talking about budgets, they had to have created and built all of those puppets. That's not cheap. But then again, I think most of the episode took place in the forest, I think. And then it was just puppets talking. So maybe another kind of creative way to do something very, very creative while keeping the budget down. Maybe that's why they use the puppets, because you can't really get your cast on a hot air balloon. That costs money. So good. So good. I love it. So anyways, all of you out there, if you got this far, what did you think of this little behind the scenes sneak peek of Community? And what did you think of my thoughts? Let's talk about it. Was this your favorite episode of the series? Was it one of your favorite episodes? Was it not one of your favorite episodes? I think it's not my favorite, but I consider this a special episode, like a specialty, like the claymation and the video game looking one. This is definitely one of my favorite specialty episodes. So let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, guys.